Hey, what's up, everyone? Nathan coming back at you, another Showdown live, or Pegleg the Pirate, as I should say. We're looking to use Urshifu Rapid Strike and that Curium offensive core that we kind of pioneered and tried to have some fun with that I built on my last team building sort of finale. I say pioneered, but maybe I should say privateered. Again, pirate theme. This is a pirate theme episode, guys. We got Urshifu, who's like a pirate Pokemon, if anything, because of the water fighting type. That's the good thing about playing with like a camera instead of a person who's not like cringing at my bad jokes. I can be like, man, I am killing it with these pirate jokes right now. This is awesome. This is hysterical. But anyways, I didn't want to say, actually, I woke up this morning knowing that I was going to do this live, and I thought like, man, like what am I doing? Making a balanced team in the current meta without the classic Hippowdon, Toxapex, Mandibuzz core? Like, what am I thinking? That's such a better core. And I'm having bad flashbacks to the first ladder to top 500 Showdown live that I made, actually. I didn't have a single Dracovish counter. Looking back, I was looking back on that video the other day. I didn't have a single Dracovish counter. I thought like, come on, man. Like literally 4 weeks after you released that video, I made a video on how you need a Dracovish counter in every team in that meta. So I'm worried that this team's gonna age very badly, and I was worried like, should I like make it more standard, blah blah blah? Should I follow more like kind of basic formula? But I thought, you know what? No. Again, the process that I did to build this team, I stand by, and I think that was the more important thing I was trying to demonstrate is how this process of building a team can make you something competitive. And again, you know, broken record, I mentioned it like 3 times in that video. I'm going to do it one more time here. It's the adaptation that's important. So that's going to be as valuable, I hope, as seeing like, okay, he's not just sticking to it. He's seeing what works, what doesn't. We're not going to be too like fast and loose with changing the team. You're going to see like, we're going to give it a couple tries before we, you know, completely abandon it altogether, but I am optimistic to see what happens, and I'm more feared of these Magearna cores. That's what really gave me pause. Like, oh man, is this defensive core of mine really going to work? Like, one trick is going to ruin us. But you know, by the same token, if my defensive core was instead Toxapex, Mandibuzz, blanking, Hippowdon, you know, trick is ruining you just as badly there too. And it's still nasty 50-50s, right? If you go to the Buzz or the Toxapex, you're getting torn up by Volt switching into their Urshifu, and if you go Hippowdon, then one flip floor cannon and you're just completely out of luck. So that's just the nature of the broken Pokemon. I can't be saying this team is terrible, it can't handle the most broken Pokemon in the meta right now, what am I doing? So anyways, that's probably a lot of me gassing on for nothing. Let's get on with this pirate themed live. Not a pirate themed live. If I had a pirate hat, I'd be wearing it though. Okay, looking at the lead matchups, Curium looks very promising out of the gates, actually. The only one that I would kind of fear would be Magearna, but Earth Power is still going to do a ton to it. Ice Beam is eating up everyone else. I don't think I'd start against the Clefable, perhaps. I might swap out to Excadrill if that was our lead matchup, but I'm having a hard time seeing us go for something that isn't Curium right now. Or Urshifu, also very tempting, but there's a lot more counters to that, and a lot of people that can just kind of weather the storm. So Curium, again, as I said, I think it's being slept on. It's weird to say that a Pokemon's like A in viability right now is being slept on, but the fact is, it's just like, it's not as common as it used to be. It used to be the wall breaker, and now there's all these cool new Pokemon that are sort of taking the spotlight, but I think it's still rather fearsome. Sort of tricky 50-50 here, because Freeze Dry I really love on everything, because they don't really have a comfortable swap in if I Freeze Dry. Marowak Alola is not that tanky, so it's going to be taking a lot. But the question is if they go to their Magearna, and do I want to click at Earth Power predicting that? This is turn 1. We're low ladder though, so we're just going to go with a nice speculative Freeze Dry and completely annihilate our opponent in one hit. So that's fantastic. Urshifu Rapid Strike is great too, but looking back at this team, I really like the synergy that these offensive core have with clearing the way for Excadrill later on. But that is going to be a big sign for me if this team's working or not. Ooh, that's a bad double switch for my opponent, unfortunately. I'm going to Earthquake on that every time. Okay, they do go Mandibuzz, that's fine. I'll probably go back out to Curium, honestly. If they foul play, I'll take a bit of damage there. But that's going to be, what I was trying to say is, that's going to be a big sign to me of whether this team is working or not. Is if I'm just like winning every game by the skin of my teeth with like the brokenness of Sandrush Excadrill, that tells me that like not much is working besides this established, you know, duo right here. I wonder if they'll Volt Switch on me here, but the Floor Cannon seems very likely, and Excadrill's not eating that up super comfortably. I'm going to go to Blissey, just play it safe right now. The Shift Gear, shoot, that was another fear. Okay, I'll go to Hippowdon now. This might end up in a Hippowdon sack once all is told. But I have to force this to not boost anymore with the Sandwich Excadrill. So I'm going to force him to kill me right here. Weakness policy, holy. That's the good thing about that other core I mentioned of the Toxapex, Mandibuzz, I keep blanking on the Hippowdon part of that. But that's the good thing about that core is that it not only is it well equipped for the Volt Switch choice specs Magearna, but if you go to Toxapex expecting a Floor Cannon and they do this instead, great, you just haze, you know, like that's fine. There should be attacking me here, so I'm actually, do I want to give up Hippowdon or do I want to give up a sack instead is a good question. You know what? I'm going to go to Shiinotic as a sack because I don't see it doing much here. So we're going to hope that they attack here. If they shift gear again, that's big trouble. Oh, they do so. Extra will still be with Oko. I'm going to Spore. If they set up again, that'd be bad. Okay, this should work out fine. If this Extra doesn't kill, we're in big trouble. But I think it should. But Hippowdon did 68%. I don't think there's a lot of defensive investment here. If I'm my opponent, my Magearna is still healthy. I'm swapping this thing out, but I think in low ladder people kind of get like sunken cost fallacy, I guess is what you could call it, and they kind of go like, oh man, like when am I ever gonna get this many stat boosts at once? The Sword Power is gonna do 1,000,000 damage. But I think that's a bit of a mistake. We'll see if they make the correct play though. I'm not gonna judge them for it just yet. Again, they have a very comfortable Mandibuzz swap in. Nope, they're gonna sack it. Yeah, that's too bad. Again, if you find yourself in this situation in the future, guys, that Magearna had so much health. They could have done so much more going forward. There's nothing that they gained by going to that when they could have gone straight to Mandibuzz. So unfortunate mistake. This thing is probably going to U-turn, to be honest. If I Swords Dance, what could I get out of that? I could get a lot out of a Swords Dance here. If they foul play, I'll look pretty stupid. But I'm taking the risk. I'm taking the risk. Yeah, my opponent I thought was just a little bit too quick on the U-turn. I'll go to Slowbro. I think I'll EQ here. I'll probably eat a Scald, but that's not the end of the world. There's a chance I'll burn and die. Let's see if the burn happens. It doesn't. Yeah, only a 30% chance. That's probably a little bit too quick on that. Maybe, you know what? And now this Iron Head is not going to do that much. I'm going to die to foul play. That was probably not the best play. Give it a shot. Next time I would just probably make it double. Okay, we get this off. There's not really much eating this freeze dry. They go to Clefable. Let's see how much it takes. If it's full Spadef, it'll eat it up. It's not full Spadef, it looks like. It's not even leftovers. So this is a Life Orb variant. I'm going to go Marowak now because it is at Ice Resist. But again, Marowak is not the tankiest guy. It would be nice to get up Stealth Rocks earlier. We haven't even got out our Pirate Lord or Shifu yet, disappointingly. I will go to I'll go to Blissey, just kind of as a sack. There's no way it's eating this up, but I just wanted to get it out here. Because then I can go to Hippowdon on it and Earthquake afterwards. Or actually, Urshifu is much better. Yeah, well, Surging Strikes. I don't think Slowbro's eating 2 Surging Strikes. Let's see. Oh, Mandibuzz is going to come out instead. I don't think Mandibuzz is eating 2 Surging Strikes, that's for sure. Wow. Okay, this is the first time I've ever used Urshifu, is why I was so eager to make this team. I kind of wanted to see how the water variant turned out, and that's scary. That's definitely scary. My opponent leaves. Assuming they come back, I think I'm in a great position, obviously. I've got a full health Hippowdon. I can even probably kill the Marowak with an Aqua Jet. As for Slowbro, I've got a Freeze Ray from Kyurem, which is going to destroy it. So yeah, that first game went well. The only 2 Pokemon we lost were like dedicated sacks because, let's face it, Marowak, Alola, and Magearna are some scary Pokemon, and it was kind of a given that if I didn't play that perfectly, I was going to have to sack it, and that's what happened. But strong first game for the team. Again, I woke up, I thought, oh man, what am I doing? You can't be going balanced without this classic core right here. But so far, so good. We're in low ladder. That's the other thing. It's very forgiving on low ladder. I think it's a little bit easier to find the cracks on low ladder. It feels a bit crappy to be making Smurfs and just, you know, dunking on people who could be new to the game. But, you know, if you're playing like a top team where they just have like everything perfect. Oh, our opponent rejoins. Excellent. I didn't want to win that way. I like Kyurem as a switch here, to be honest. Hopefully it doesn't die. It gets a Scald Burn. Freeze Dry seems good here. I bet they're going to stay in. They don't. They go straight to Marowak, Alola. It does take less than I thought, but we freeze them. That kind of sucks. Sorry about that, man. We'll go to Urshifu. And they thought turn 1 with the Flare Blitz, but that's also okay. I'm going to predict a Slowbro switch here, so we'll U-turn out. Actually, I bet Draco Meteor just claims a life no matter what right now. Let's do that. It's easy to forget how good Draco Meteor is on these choice specs Kyurems. Yep, later. It's got 130 special attack. It's much like the classic Latios Draco Meteor. Even this one's gonna... yeah, come on. That's a strong Pokemon. So GG to our opponents. We are still climbing the ladder in this new alt, which is good to see. I'm thinking I might rename this sort of... I've just been putting out lives without any real title or anything to it. I'm debating naming them like laddering back the top 500, just kind of for fun. This is a very classic team we're seeing right here. Frankly, if this Zeraora was an Urshifu, this would be about like how I picture the current meta. Actually, and I would like to see probably Hippowdon if I'm being honest, but still, this is a very classic team. Very offensive, of course. The question is going to be like what sets these are, whether they're specially defensive or physically defensive, and we're going to have to play around that. But that's enough gas. Let's talk about the lead matchup. Dragapult makes me fear going Hippowdon at first, because otherwise Hippowdon's looking great as a lead. You know, I can EQ these 3. I can get up rocks pretty free versus Mandibuzz, even versus Clefable. But Dragapult going for the fast U-turn off the rip is such a common lead, especially if we're talking about low ladder, that I am hesitating with that. But frankly, I don't see anyone who loves that matchup off the rip either, because if it's Choice Specs, then Flamethrowers destroying Excadrill. A Draco Meteor is probably not fantastic for my Urshifu. Yeah, honestly, I think I'm going to go with Hippowdon, just because 5 of the... I don't want to lead Blissey, because Blissey loses momentum versus a lot of these Pokemon, and isn't a good matchup versus a lot of them. I'm going to lead Hippowdon, because it does have a good matchup versus these 5. And then, should they go Dragapult, then I will go straight to Blissey, you know? Let's do that. I like that idea. And then go Cinderace. Okay, so I'm glad we made this play. The question is if I want to Rocks or Earthquake right away. My opponent should be respecting this. Not be Pyroballing. Pyroballing is the only reason I would want to Earthquake. So let's go for the Stealth Rocks right away. Okay, that works out great. How much does this do versus a full BizDef Toxapex, I wonder? Because the other option is, if it's BizDef, I want to go straight to Curium and Freeze Dry, because that's going to do like 80-90%. And plus, it's a great Scald Swap in. However, if it's Spadef, then this Earthquake is going to be great and eat its lunch. You know, I don't want to eat that burn quite yet. This Hippowdon's got a good matchup versus a lot of the opponent, as we already talked about. So I don't want to just risk the burn. For that reason, I want to go to Curium. Let's go to this on the knockoff. Ooh, good play. This Freeze Dry, we got a bit more flexibility with Curium. That's another concern with this team, is that my core are both choice locks that can be a little bit difficult to play. Unfortunately, make some good predictions. But now this Freeze Dry seems pretty free. Probably do about 60% now instead of 90%. I'm going to see the Clefable come out. Looks like it's full Spadef from that damage. A little bit harder to judge without the specs, but that's fine. Excadrill seems about as free a swapping as ever. I'm guessing they're going for Rocks right here. So Excadrill even better play, because I can go for the Rapid Spin. If they go to Dragapult on the Rapid Spin, they are crazy people. Oh, they're going to go straight to Zeraora. Bad double swap for my opponent. I wonder if they will swap now. This is a tough turn, because I want to overpredict. My opponent swapped several times so far. They're not afraid to swap, which is great. That's what you want to see from a low... Oh, they're on it. This is an alt. This is interesting. This suggests to me that this is a good player who's low ladder because they're on an alt. That makes me more inclined to make an aggressive overprediction. We'll do so. Okay, we get the Mandibuzz. How much is it going to do? 28. It's got a lot of defense. Not as much Spadef then. Which I guess that's for the Urshifu. That's fine. We'll probably see a Defog here, which makes me think if I Swords Dance, will I be able to kill it the turn afterwards? I would like the calc. Please and thank you. If I Swords Dance, how much is that Ironhead doing? 52. Not enough. No, not enough. So we will go to Curium on the Switch. Yeah. And they do foul play right off the rip. Okay, so we keep the Rocks up, which is actually kind of nice for momentum, but our Curium is looking a bit worse for the wear. I'd say Clefable's likely here. I can make a double switch to Excadrill and sort of reset this whole situation. That's very tempting. But Ice Beam would do about... How much does that Freeze Dry do? Probably about 28% instead. I don't love that. Let's go to the Excadrill. Yeah, let's make that double. Unless they U-turn. If they're... Oh, they are crazy. Now I'm worried about foul play. No, I think the Defog's coming again. We just pretty much lost a turn there. That's fine. I think the Defog is definitely coming out this turn. If they foul play again, then our Kyurem's gonna be so low. When they do, oh, I did not see that was coming at all. Okay, well, I'll Ice Beam. They might try to trade with a foul play here, but this is my best means of breaking through Mandibuzz, so I think I'm kind of forced to, because it's so physically defensive that our Shifu won't be able to OHKO it. Yeah, kind of wild them to play. Oh, oh. I don't know what my opponent's doing. You defog that turn. Maybe they're expecting another double switch on my part. Okay, I think they're going to Clefable this turn, and I want to make that double switch again, but I can't risk them staying in and like giving it to me for free. We go to Cinderace. Okay, so it's a good thing I didn't double swap there. That's interesting. I'll go to Hippowdon. I don't see a lot of reason not to. I want to get the rocks back up. It's the best counter for everything this thing has. I could Whirlwind off the rip. I'm going to do that, yeah. Get the Dragapult in. Leftovers. So I'm predicting a burn here. Let's go to... I don't think a lot of Dragon Dance physical Dragapults have leftovers. If so, I do have Shiinotic, but no, it's going to die to Steel Wing if that's the case. Anyways, my point being, if it's got leftovers, that suggests to me that it's the, you know, Thunder Wave, Will-O-Wisp Hex set. So Blissey, if that's the case, is a no-brainer. That's as good of a counter as you're going to get. That is exactly the case. A Toxic? How do we feel about a Toxic here, gang? How are we feeling about it? Who's my opponent going to here? I think they're probably going to one of their physical breakers. If they go to Clefable or Toxapex, that would suck. Maybe they want to get up rocks. Yeah. Maybe I'll go for a Seismic Toss. That's fine. I just don't want to let this Mandibuzz in for free, you know? Let's go for that. Heavy Duty Boots is broken on Blissey. When we were talking about it yesterday, I said, okay, I should have probably Toxic. But you know what? That's good chip in its own right. I'm gonna go straight up to Hippowdon in case they U-turn. So that way you can do the Rocky Helmet chip. Actually, they're not doing that because they're bulk up. That's fine. I'll go for rocks here. But anyways, I started on the Blissey. I wasn't sure about it yesterday, but I have changed my mind. That shit broken. That is really good. If you haven't watched it yet, BKC just put out this great video on the nature of the meta, and he's a stranger to the meta. Oh, all right. He's a bit of a stranger to the meta, so from an outsider perspective, it's almost more interesting, and he's such, of course, a fantastic, knowledgeable presence in the community that even his not completely informed thoughts are interesting. And he had some great thoughts, and the first thing he was talking about was how Heavy Duty Boots is more kind of insidious and effect on the defensive course than you expect, and it can really just do a number of these Pokemon like Blissey coming in for absolutely free. Again, Stealth Rocks doesn't seem like much, but 12% every swap in, that's incredible. So he had some good points on the nature of Heavy Duty Boots when he was laddering to get voting requirements on Magearna. He named his tag Banned Boots, so that got a laugh out of me. Okay, this is a tough first turn to predict. We don't... Okay, so Shifu Dark. That's interesting. So Kyurem's not good in that lead. We would be fast and unlikely. I think the Adamant ones are much more common too. Actually, we wouldn't be if it's Timid. Shoot, not Timid. Jolly. So that's not great. Even if it was Adamant, I won't love that matchup. I could probably get with a Meteor off the rip, but it's still just risky. Kyurem's not great versus the Blissey, of course, either. That's going to be a great wall to us. We will freeze dry this. We would Earth Power this. We would probably Meteor this, but we would not love that. Actually, Earth Power would kill that too. So you know what? If we can get rid of this Blissey and we can get a situation where we're not, in a 1v1 versus Urshifu, Kyurem looks like a great lead. In fact, actually, now that I mention it, these two seem like very common lead options for me. And Kyurem would be great versus both of those. That really stings because I like that idea a lot. But Hippowdon looks great. This whole match in general looks fantastic. The only thing I'm very much fearing is Urshifu's not fantastic, but and the Rotom could boost on me. That's probably going to be my lead matchup right there, actually. Do I see a reason not to? Rotom Heat's not going to be great because we don't have a Mold Breaker Extra Drill. Okay, I'll go Hippowdon. If they go Rotom Heat, then I'll just swap them out right away. This is a Grass, not Zera Aura. That would be unfortunate. But I don't see a lot of reason not to Earthquake right now. Got a Blissey. Does a lot of damage, all things considered. I'll take my rocks. We might need a Toxic, though. How much do I want these rocks? Ooh, that's a tough call. I can go to Urshifu because that's actually not bad. I don't mind it getting toxic as much. Oh, that's a tough one. Excadrill could eat the poison and it would threaten to back out. Yeah, let's do that. Shoot. What the heck? Okay, I'm kind of glad I made that play. Rocks are nice, but at what cost? This Earthquake might honestly kill. I wonder if they would go to their Rotom Heat there, because I'm obviously Sand Rush. Actually, the lack of the Mold Breaker popping up here tells them that I'm not Sand Rush. It's a low ladder, so it's harder to say. I'm going to go with Earthquake. Fair enough. Good play by my opponent. This should be a Blissey for me here, because I'm not doing status. I'm not doing the swaps as much, or the boosting as much, because I can Toxic them. Are they going to boost right away? They're going to Trick. Oh, boy, that's terrible for us. I'm expecting the Excadrill to come out. They're going to Volt Switch for sure here. So I was going to say, I want to go straight to Hippowdon to beat the Excadrill. I think they're definitely Volt Switching here. So I guess I'll Seismic Toss. Actually, if they're Volt Switching, what am I saying? Then Hippowdon's not bad at all. But then they're stuck here, and then they can go for a nasty plot boost. Oh, this is tough. This is tough. I'll do the Hippowdon. Oh, they just make the double straight up, and they probably don't have Volt? Why would they? Maybe that's a Trick, Nasty Plot, Discharge set. That's kind of crazy to consider. This time I'll go for the Stealth Rocks. My opponent should 1000% fear me, and if I guess wrong, it's not the end of the world. Okay, so we're going to come out slightly even there. Our Blissey's a little bit crippled, but it's not as essential this matchup. It's going to be nice for going tete-to-tete with the Toxapex and Blissey. Of course, answering the Rotom, but not the end of the world. I'm going to go Blissey because I feel like they don't have Volt Switch, and if that's the case, I don't fear anything it has. Great. I want to go straight to Excadrill again. If I'm my opponent, there's no way I'm doing that because I just destroyed you with that prediction, with that double switch. And if that's the case, Zero Aura seems likely. So this is about a 50-50 in my opinion. There's a good chance they go to Excadrill still, despite me getting them last time. And this Toxic would not be good, but everyone else is fantastic. Okay, no, my opponent sticks to their guns. Good play. We're going to lose the rocks now, as they're going to Rapid Spin here. Is there a better option? No. They're going to Rapid Spin for free, get that off. I'm tempted to Earthquake, because they might get cocky and stay in. But, maybe not. We'll see. We're at 23 minutes already. Why am I gabbing so much? I want a Whirlwind in case they go to the Rotom. I'll slack off. I'll play it safe. Dude, you are crazy. I'm gonna keep assuming that they're gonna swap out. If they Earthquake me again, I will be stunned from the disrespect. Stunned. Stunned. This is what stunned looks like. Why do you hate your Excadrill so much, Shadow King? I joked about bad Pokemon trainers in the last live. You have set your Excadrill up for death. Okay, your Urshifu comes out. If they wanted to clear the way for their Urshifu, they've done a great job. If they Poison Jab here, they deserve a medal. And they go to sleep right away. Oh, I love a good Shiinotic. How can you not love Shiinotic? What a wonderful Pokemon. That's a free Leech Seed for us. Is this their rocker? That's hard to judge. I feel like if that Excadrill was a rocker, they would have done so many times by now. This is a good chance to go to Hippowdon and get it nice and healthy again for their Urshifu. This is going to be very tough. This Hippowdon is going to completely really hurt their opponent until they Toxic me. Now it's not so tough. What do you know? I'm assuming this is Heavy Duty Boots Blissey, so they're going to switch here so they can get a chance to get it back healthy again later. So I'm going to Whirlwind on... No, they're not going to... Actually, I don't need to worry about that. I'm going to get double to beat this Rotom Heat. And even if they stay in, this Urshifu is a fine play. This person's crazy. Crazy, I say. The only reason I wouldn't Surging Strikes is if they go Toxapex, but what are the odds they go Toxapex? No, I just brought in a fighting type on your Blissey. If you are not swapping this turn, you are never swapping ever again. So I'm going to U-turn on the Toxapex. Great. Go to our Excadrill or the Curium. Oh, that's tough. You know what? This is gonna be some nerdy stuff, but let's calc whether it's physical or not based on what that did. I do think this is important. Maybe doing this in low ladder is a bit like try hard. It is try hard, but we're a try hard channel. And let's see. Okay, so if it was a full FizzDef talk specs, that's about what it would do on the high end. But just for curiosity's sake, okay, so it is definitely FizzDef if it did that much damage, and that means Curium is the play. All right. And that means I thought that because now Draco Meteor probably kills if it is the FizzDef set. I don't like to go into calc too much because I find when I rewatch my own stuff, I find it's a little bit like jarring, which is too bad because I use this to teach people how to be good, how to like improve and stuff, and I think the calc is like one of the best ways to do so. But it is a bit of a jarring user experience. So you know what? Let me know in the comments on this video if you mind if I go into calc too much. Maybe I should play it down a little bit as I've been doing so far. Like go to it now and then, but not too much. Maybe you like the calc and you like that aspect it provides. Let me know what you think. Okay, so it's at 75%, so I'm completely free to Draco Meteor here. I think that's even killing Blissey. This is claiming a kill. That's great. It is heavy duty boots. Great. Okay. Great turn. Thanks to calc, we could make that turn with complete informative comfort. We're gonna see the Rotom now. Rotom is an interesting call because I feel like this Draco Meteor would still do like 50%. I don't really worry about its stabs too much. Yeah, that worked out great for us. Interesting play by my opponent. Glad we got that hip out on back up to full because now we're not very much fearing Zero Aura. That's why I have Shiinotic. What am I thinking? I'd rather go to Shiinotic there. This is the ultimate Zero Aura counter. But oh well. I'll Earthquake here. Ooh, will I? They should be swapping to Rotom here. I'll make a switch that beats the Rotom. If they Plasma Fist on my double switch to Urshifu, my opponent is the greatest player of all time. Okay, unfortunately, we are not playing against the ultimate GOAT of Pokemon. We are fast. Oh, we might not be faster, gang. Hold on. I got Aqua Jet. Yeah. Oh, that wasn't the best double switch because I was putting in difficult 50-50 binds there. I think I'll go to... Oh, Curium's taking a lot between sand and rocks, and I can eat a burn from the Scald. Let's rip a Shiinotic here. We eat the burn ourselves. Strength Sap seems good. I feel like the Rotom is the most likely swap here, so I'm going to go to the Leech Seed. You can't really go too wrong with Leech Seed, especially we're playing this a little bit more balanced-esque, and this will keep us healthy. Dang, if the Sandstorm was still up, we would have killed the thing. But I expect to see rocks this turn. If Volt Switch, good play, good play. They get one more play out of their Rotom here. But you know what? We got them on the ropes. We're kind of outbalancing them here. We're doing exactly what I say, like right here, which is you want to outweather these offensive teams. If you're playing against a slower stall-based team, well, guess what? We've got a very fearsome offensive core right here. Not to mention a Sand Rush Extra Drill. So we can hopefully break through some of their walls and then beat them with our defensive core. So it's a very interesting playstyle. I'm glad. It's actually closer to bulky offense again, but still, I'm glad I got to make a team like this because I think it's my weakest point. I get a little bit too fast and loose with my offensive weapons. I would say I've been a bit too fast and loose with my Curium, arguably so far. So that tracks. I'll go to Shiinotic again. It might be a bit too much between rocks and the burn to be able to not be too KO'd. Yeah, it's gonna be too much, but the Rocky Helmet's gonna do some chips. That's fine. It'll at least open up the way for Hip Out on later on. I'll leech it again in case they do swap, but I think this is gonna be a 2-hit KO. Sleep Claws mod activated. That's funny. It probably would have been poisoned otherwise. Will we get status this time though? We do not, but that's all right. Urshifu looking completely menacing. I'm gonna make a very gutsy play here, and I'm going to do Urshifu and U-turn on a Toxapex switch because I'm pretty much 2 or 3 Aqua Jets away from winning, and I've been very aggressive with Aqua Jet, and they see through me. They see right through me. Good play by my opponent. Things are getting a little bit dicey now. That was, if this Urshifu gets a good wake up, I could be in big trouble. I wonder if they will be bullish and stay in. Their Rotom's now going to die to sand. I'm gonna slack off just in case. Okay, I'm just gonna keep my defensive guys healthy. Plissy, I want to get them healthy too, but with them being choice specs, they're kind of useless. I can't be burned actually. Let's earthquake. We get a crit. That's very, very, very fortunate. And we don't eat much with a skull burn back. I bet my opponent is staying in here. In these kind of crucial points where I'm saying you need to switch here, they haven't been. Oh, and they do. Okay, I didn't give them enough credit. I should have slacked off. That was my initial read. But now my Hippowdon's really low. If this is Shifu, interesting. They go to Toxapex here. Am I faster? How did that work out last time? I am faster. Do I sacrifice my Hippowdon to kill this Pex? Oh, that's a tough turn. Oh, that's a tough turn, gang. I can slack off here, but between the Scalds, I'm actually losing health on that. I think I'm gonna Earthquake just because between Rocks and Toxic, next time I get this in, I'm not sure when I'm gonna get a chance to recover it. There's a very good chance we lose this Urshifu now, sleep or not. We have Rocky Helmet too, so I'm gonna stay in and let this thing die as well. We're kind of banking on our offensive weapons being able to beat the Urshifu here. Okay, so I think a Draco Meteor kills. I'm probably getting a little bit scared for nothing. If this Miku Meteor does not kill and my opponent wakes up, then I am 2 close combats away from losing. 3, I guess. Still, 72%. Maybe if this misses, if this Meteor misses, I'm gonna put myself in a poor position. Again, I'm fearful that this calc is not for a good viewing experience, but I think this is an essential point to do so. Because if an Ice Beam kills, Ice Beam does kill. Okay, I'm glad I did that because I didn't want to risk him missing and lose. Okay, great. We get a win. We're already at 32 minutes. How did that happen? Oh my gosh. I guess when you're playing balanced, it's a little bit slower than the hyper offense last time. We didn't get as many games as I wanted, but you know what? The team is undefeated as of yet. We have climbed to 1300. We're almost undefeated on this alt so far, so that's pretty fun. Hopefully we can get to the more competitive 1400 and 1500 in the next live or two, and then we'll really put this test to the ringer. But you know what? Thanks for joining me regardless. I hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you learned something. Again, let me know what you think about that calc thing in the comments below. And I'll play more with this team next time. Or maybe I'll look back at this VOD that I just recorded and I'll see, you know, are there changes that need to happen yet? I feel like they weren't really tested to the point where I'm questioning them as of yet. But we'll see. Again, the idea is how we want to change this team. But regardless, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I'll catch you next time.